Hey guys, how's it going? So today's video is from a very special place called my studio, which is happens to be the bed also. um, but anyway, let's get on to the main topic, which is been on my mind, which is Bonnie Blue is her name. She is getting pretty famous rapidly at the moment for basically going to locations, putting the word out that she's up for filming content. She's a 25-year-old woman, and she allows men of 18 and up to go basically have sex with her and to film videos with her. So her whole thing is basically like an ex-OnlyFans kind of porn industry, your typical. She has people filming her, or she films her own content, she puts it up online, people pay for her content, people watch her content. She started off like that, but then soon got into this whole, let's me go to different locations, put a message out like a word, like a noteboard or whatever, that says, hey guys, I'm at this location. She has all these guys standing up in a queue, waiting to have sex with her, basically. And she films content with them then and puts it up online. She says she likes to film this stuff to make it more authentic, more realistic, instead of filming these fake, like, pornographic scenes that she's been doing. She says that it allows her audience to connect better with her and the situation, because when it's like these 18-year-olds are coming in and she's filming it, it's like a kind of like an uncut real life scene where it's natural and it's happening and you can relate to it, because there's no like planned dramatic scenes and such. So that's pretty much the essence of it. The reason it's so controversial is people are calling her like a nonce and stuff like that, and all I can say about that is she is 25. The boys who are standing and waiting in these lines to have sex with her are 18 and up. But from 18 and up, there's nothing stopping these boys from just going to their local strip club or prostitute place or whatever. I'm not very well versed in those things, so I don't really know what they're called, but brothels, there's nothing stopping them from ordering a woman online to come to their house. There's nothing stopping them from even selling themselves as sex. There's nothing stopping them from putting videos of themselves up online and making videos. So yeah, it's a little bit of a cliche thing. The main thing is there's nothing new going on here, and the news and other people talking about this video are focusing on the aspects of this situation, like if it's something new, like if this doesn't happen anywhere. But I'm not saying if it's good or bad. All I can say about it is that that particular subject that everyone's focusing on happens every single day, and these young men, if they're the type of men to go stand in a queue to line up for a woman to have sex with, they're going to be the same type of people to go see a prostitute or something like that. So what I'm saying is I think that's the wrong aspect to focus on. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just saying there's more to this than the main focus that everyone thinks is the main focus, because I don't think that should be right now. The main focus is the damaging effects, which I'll get into now. So I'm not sure what my take fully is on that, but all I can say is these boys would be able to get that anywhere anyway. It's not like she's basically just providing at your door, well, not at your door, but locality kind of prostitute service, because that's what it is in general. Apart from, I don't think you have to pay to go see her. I'm not sure. I think she gets the money from the content. She says that she's trying to educate people, or young men or women, everyone. She says she's trying to educate people about sex and pleasure, and she says in the video that she didn't realize how much pleasure she could get through sex and from sex, which is quite interesting. And I found that a little bit confusing, because she seems to be a little bit confused on the whole ins and outs, no pun intended, of natural pleasure from real life connections and sexual situations. So like I said, she really believes that by making these videos, it's helping young men connect and learn about themselves sexually, I guess to enhance their knowledge and stuff like that, which this is where I start getting a bit annoyed, because this really isn't helping anyone. It's, number one, detaching young men from natural situations where they would naturally talk to a woman, they would get to know them, they would, fall in love with their personality, the things that they do, the connections, the similarities between them, and it would evolve, into something really beautiful and special. But this is really taking away from that, because these young men now, not only have they already been idolizing and sexualizing women, and just looking at them as like a sexual prize and whatnot, because obviously these people who are lining up, they're already looking at these videos, they're already watching these things online, which is already an issue in for men already, out there in the world. The amount of consumers for pornography is crazy, and pornography has been shown to directly link to lower intimacy with partners, lower attraction to partners, being dissatisfied in relationships, the whole grass is greener phenomena. It fuels all of these things that are highly detrimental to creating real relationships and being able to get close with someone. So, you can read it anywhere. Pornography is bad. It's an addiction. It's something that young men and any men of any ages and women need to get away from, because it completely desensitizes you. So this is where it starts to annoy me, because in my mind, she's not helping anyone. She really believes that she's educating people on sexuality, but I think she's unaware of her own kind of misinterpretation of connections and stuff like that. Because people who can make real life connections, people who don't have issues, people who know how intimacy and getting to know someone and the natural flow of beautiful relationships doesn't put themselves out on the internet in this type of way and do these types of things. It's very unnatural. This is why not many people are doing it. And that's not to say that people out there who do this type of business aren't incapable of these types of things, because they're not. But it definitely suggests the opposite of a natural, intimate, and well-established emotional bond with someone. So, in essence, I think there's maybe mentally a lot of blocks here, potentially, in terms of what's going on in her mind. But obviously I don't know. This is just my opinion. Could be wrong, but that's okay. We're allowed to share our opinions. But so at the end of the day, I think my opinion here is based in that this is not good for young men, and this is also not good for anyone, really. It's not good for anyone apart from her paycheck, in all honesty. What we need to be doing is getting people to stop watching porn, showing people how to have healthy and natural conversations with women and men, both sides. We need to show that you can fall in love with someone, even if sexual attraction is low, for instance, or and even if it's high. Obviously it's a good sign. Biologically we are made to be sexually attracted to one another, to obviously procreate and whatnot. I guess it's probably it's a natural part of life to be attracted, but to solely focus on that as the main aspect is what these videos like the one she's making is doing, and what it's eliciting in young men's minds and women alike. So I completely don't agree with it from her point of view. If she said, look, I just do what I do, it obviously doesn't help anyone, but I'm making lots of money, I'm damaged goods myself, and you know what I mean? But okay, maybe I can't say damaged goods, because at the end of the day I don't know what's going on in her mind, but all I know is it's a very unnatural thing, and it's not a proactive thing for anyone, not for our minds, not anyone. Like I said, pornography has already been linked to depression, dissatisfaction, demotivation. You know, no one watches pornography and feels great after it, you know, unless you are one of those special people then in the comments you can say that you feel great after watching it, and that's fine, and, you know, that's cool. But anyway, for anyone watching this video, it would mean a lot if you could help share this and get the word out, because I think it would be very important to know, if I was someone who was in her position, to know, maybe have like a little bit of a wake-up call that this is not good for young men. She doesn't have to stop what she's doing. I mean, she's free to do what she wants. We're all free to do what we want in terms of legal limits, right? You know, that's to say if it's moral or not, who knows. But the only thing that annoys me about this whole thing is that she is under the impression that what she's doing is good for men, it's good for sexual education, it's good for all these things, but it's not. Because at the end of the day, the more men that you're sleeping with, the more risk that you have of actually contracting, you know, certain STDs and stuff like that. So even if she's been regularly tested, the amount of STDs that could be passing through her system and that could be undetected just for, like, you know, every now and then you can get a test. It was like with COVID, sometimes you could take a test, but the test would be a false positive or false negative. And all these things are completely probable, and they happen to people every day all across the world. You know, people are contracting STDs all the time, and, you know, even after someone having a test, it happens. It does happen. So it's just a probability game. When you increase your amount of sexual partners, you increase your amount of chance. So I think these boys, they might not be at less of a risk, but they're still at just as much as of a risk. And she's saying things like, these boys are at less risk, these boys are, you know, have a safer environment, these boys are, you know, for instance, if they're having their virginity taken. But this isn't true. These boys are at just as much risk as they would be normally, if not more. These boys are, I would say, not very safe, because there are hundreds of men in these lines, all with different personality types and traits. We don't know who they are. She doesn't know who they are. We don't know what they're capable of. You know, there might be someone who has bad intentions there, which is very probable, you know, because they will know that it brings some of the weirder people to the surface. And weird people are fine, but just not weird and dangerous people. So yeah, so like I said, it's not a safe place. It's not a safe environment. It's not helping these minds of young men. It's not helping them have a good interpretation of what a healthy relationship is, or how to communicate properly, or what the baseline aspect should be when looking at women. These men are basically being confirmed and trained now to think women are just for sex, which is already out of hand at the moment, which is something that we're trying to get rid of in men right now. You know, it's about personality, it's about, you know, the connection, you know, the intimacy, the hobbies, the, you know, everything combined. And obviously sexual attraction is part of that, but it's not everything. It's perpetuating this idolization of sexualization, and in all, it's not healthy for her mind either, and it's also not healthy for other young women either, because other women who are watching this are going to think, oh, I can do that, and I can also help people too, and I can also help young men find themselves sexually and all this stuff. But look, it's not true. If you do this type of work, you are not helping anyone, not even yourself. The paycheck's going up, but all she is doing is fueling her own thoughts and feelings towards sexuality and what it means to be close to someone. So every time she is having sex with a new partner, she's desensitizing herself even more to what a true, beautiful, intimate relationship should be. And in my mind, I think a beautiful connection and a beautiful relationship only consists of two people. So yeah, in my mind, a beautiful, intimate and meaningful relationship is based off having two people in a relationship, one-on-one, where it's based off, you know, having an emotional connection for one another, a care for one another, you know, a love for each other's personality. And I feel like sexual attraction doesn't even have to be 20% in those cases sometimes. You know, it has to, you know, don't get me wrong, you have to be sexually attracted to a partner, but those types of things can also grow. So they're not definitive, and they're not the most important thing, that's for sure. Anyone can learn to love anyone, and that's the truth. So, in essence, what I'm saying, guys, is this is definitely not healthy. It's not good for men, it's not good for women. She's saying that she thinks it's healthy, but it's most definitely not. It's not helping anyone, and this is the type of stuff we need to get rid of. We need to get rid of pornography, things that are becoming socially accepted now, which this does not need to be one of them. But anyway, I've spoken some about my opinion and some about what has happened. But you guys be the judge. I am open-minded at the end of the day. You know, I'm not definitively always set on one thing, but this is just what comes to my mind, what I think is healthy, what I, you know, think is unhealthy. You know, if you agree, then that's great, you know, and leave it down in the comments, tell me what you agree with. If you don't agree, leave it down in the comments as well, and I would love to answer you and reply and see what you're talking about. You know, like I said, anyone can do what they want, but is it healthy? That's the question. So guys, keep healthy, look after yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. This is just a little brief update, but please make sure to subscribe, share this video. Who knows, maybe she could see it if it gets big enough. But yeah, guys, take care.